My dear friends, I welcome you to this discourse on beauty. Let us not seek to win an argument, but to uncover wisdom. Aristotle, as the elder and lover of order, I invite you to define beauty and explain its essence.
Thank you, Socrates. Beauty, as I have written in my Metaphysics and Poetics, is the manifestation of order, proportion, and harmony. It arises when the potentiality of a thing is fully actualized in accordance with its telos, its end purpose. Beauty is not merely subjective, it is rooted in the intrinsic nature of things. Consider the Parthenon, whose structure embodies symmetry and balance. Its beauty is not an opinion, but an objective reality. Its columns, arranged in precise proportions, mirror the harmony of the cosmos. This is why I hold that beauty is grounded in universal principles, discoverable through reason and observation. Moreover, beauty inspires contemplation. As I said in my Nicomachean Ethics, the highest human activity is theoria, the intellectual pursuit of truth. Beauty aids in this by drawing the soul toward higher understanding, reflecting the rational order of the universe.
A vision of beauty as universal and rational. Karl Marx, do you find agreement? Or does Aristotle's view leave room for critique?
I find Aristotle's conception of beauty profoundly limited, Socrates. He views it as a timeless ideal, detached from the material conditions of life. In my economic and philosophical manuscripts of 1844, I argue that beauty, like all human phenomena, is inseparable from labor and the society that produces it. The Parthenon that Aristotle praises was built by the labor of slaves. Its symmetry and harmony reflect the ideals of a slave-owning aristocracy. The beauty Aristotle so admires is not a universal truth, but a reflection of the ruling class's domination. Let me provide a more grounded example. A simple piece of pottery crafted by a worker for their use can possess a beauty far greater than that of a gilded vase made for the vanity of the wealthy. The former embodies honest labor and utility, while the latter is alienated from both the laborer and its purpose. Beauty emerges not in abstract ideals, but in the liberation and creative expression of human beings.
Marx, your insistence on tying beauty to labor and class struggle reduces it to a mere social construct. While I do not deny the importance of context, beauty transcends the conditions of its creation. The mathematical elegance of the golden ratio, used in both the Parthenon and in nature, cannot be dismissed as a product of exploitation. Take, for example, the symmetry of a butterfly's wings or the spiral of a seashell. These natural phenomena exhibit beauty without human labor or societal influence. Are you suggesting that such beauty is merely an illusion because it does not fit your materialist framework?
Aristotle, your examples betray the limitations of your philosophy. Even nature's beauty is perceived through the lens of human society. A butterfly's wings or a seashell's spiral only become beautiful when interpreted by human consciousness, which is shaped by historical and material conditions. In the German ideology, I emphasized that human perception is conditioned by life. The butterfly's wings might appear beautiful to you, a philosopher, with the leisure to contemplate them, but would they hold the same value to a peasant toiling under the weight of feudal exploitation? Beauty, in your view, serves as a tool of escapism for the privileged, detached from the realities of life.
Aristotle, Marx challenges the universality of beauty, claiming it is shaped by perception and class. What say you to this critique?
Marx, your argument mistakes subjective perception for the essence of beauty. While individuals may differ in their capacity to recognize beauty, this does not invalidate its universality. A sculptor, guided by reason, can carve a statue that embodies beauty regardless of their social standing. Consider the works of Phidias. The statue of Athena, adorned with gold and ivory, reflects not just wealth but an understanding of proportion and form that transcends its era. Even if created today, it would inspire awe. Your materialist lens blinds you to the eternal principles that underlie such creations. Furthermore, your argument leads to relativism. If beauty is merely a product of social and historical conditions, then anything, no matter how grotesque, could be deemed beautiful under the right circumstances. This undermines the very pursuit of knowledge and truth.
Aristotle, your reliance on universals ignores the dialectical nature of history. In Capital, I demonstrated that human creations, including art and beauty, are shaped by the relations of production. Phidias's statue may inspire awe, but it also symbolizes the wealth of Athens, built on the backs of the oppressed. Let us consider a more human example: the songs of workers in a factory. These songs, born out of suffering and solidarity, possess a beauty that cannot be reduced to symmetry or proportion. They reflect the collective struggle of humanity, a beauty rooted in praxis, not abstraction. Your claim to eternal principles is a defense of the status quo. Beauty, like all human endeavors, must serve the cause of liberation, not contemplation.
A stirring exchange. Let me press you both further. Aristotle, if beauty is universal, why does it manifest differently across cultures? And Marx, if beauty is bound to labor, does this not risk reducing it to mere utility?
Socrates, cultural variations in the expression of beauty are akin to dialects of a single language. The underlying principles, harmony, proportion, and purpose, remain constant. A Chinese garden and a Greek temple may differ in form, but both embody the same universal truths. To reduce beauty to labor, as Marx does, strips it of its higher purpose. A work of art or a piece of music is not merely useful. It elevates the soul and directs us toward the good.
Socrates, beauty bound to labor is far from mere utility. It is the expression of human creativity and freedom. As I wrote in the Communist Manifesto, the history of society is the history of class struggles. Beauty, in its highest form, emerges when these struggles are overcome, when human beings are no longer alienated from their labor. The songs of liberation movements, the murals of the oppressed, these are not utilitarian objects. They are profound expressions of human potential, shaped by history, but pointing toward a future of collective freedom.
Both views hold wisdom, yet neither resolves the paradox of beauty's universality and its ties to human life. Perhaps, like beauty itself, the truth lies somewhere between the form and the labor. Shall we leave it to future generations to explore further?